Hi again. So, let's see. Hopefully you could see and there's not much of a glare. I want to do a video on Omicron. I think that's how you say it. Because if you remember my video a while back, I don't even know when it was. It was a long time ago. You can look in my playlist for the COVID videos, so the political videos. I think it's under political. It would be, I talked about COVID, and at that time we were, I think, at 620,000 deaths. And in my head, I was thinking COVID would end at 835 or 853 deaths. So we've surpassed 835. So I looked on my phone, and today is January 15th, 2:47. So as of 21 hours ago on my phone, it said that, let's see here, that there was 849 deaths in the United States from COVID, which would mean that there would be 4,000 deaths left to reach my prediction of 853 deaths in the United States from COVID. And not that I want another 4,000 deaths from COVID, but that would be better than another 10,000 deaths from COVID. So hopefully we are nearing the end of COVID. Before we pull the cards, to talk about, or just to see whether we are kind of at the end of COVID. Now there is a new strain, an H something, let's see, new variant of COVID. It's called new strain. Let me see if I could see it here. Real quick, sorry. New IHU, I think, called B1.640.2, or the IHU. It's been found in France as of, well, wait, I don't know. I think that's the name of it. But anyway, there's another new one after the Omicron. So anyway, I watch the news a lot, and I don't always sit there and watch it, but I have it on, let's say if I'm cooking dinner and stuff, just to listen during mealtime. That's usually when the news is on. And I did hear a doctor saying, we're going to have these variants, and we're going to have COVID, and it's not going away. So regarding the vaccinations, he's like, are we going to keep constantly boosting people, constantly coming up with new vaccinations? Because some of the rapid tests are not picking up the Omicron variant, and people that are vaccinated are getting these breakthrough viruses of the Omicron, maybe even of the Delta too, before the Omicron even got here. It's like a fucking game of whack-a-mole. You just, things keep popping up and you keep shooting them down, and the government doesn't want to go into a lockdown. Basically everything is in a fucking lockdown. Schools are closed. Schools are kind of closed, going back to remote. In the news now, they've said CVS and Walgreens are going to kind of cut back their hours. Theaters have closed down some of the productions for a while. What else? Sports teams are canceling games because everybody's getting breakthrough COVID. What was it? Was it air? And I'm not sure. Is it the airlines where they've had so many deaths of staff from? Was it the airlines? I'm not quite positive. But lack of staffing in the airlines, you know, how all the cancellations and everything because of COVID, but the lack of staffs. Now, don't quote me because I'm not quite sure, but I thought I overheard that, you know, a lot of the airlines, a lot of their staff has died of COVID. I mean, like, what the fuck? And, you know, and then, you know, now the Supreme Court, you know, went against Biden's vaccination mandates for corporations unless they receive government funding. So that's like, you know, some have to have it and some don't. I mean, it's a fucking game of whack-a-mole. And this is exactly, well, not the only reason. Like, I have religious reasons that I didn't get. That's one. Religious reasons why I didn't get vaccinated. Number two is my body, my say. And number three, my intuition. The whole fucking vaccination thing is a mess. And I didn't want to, okay, like some say, be the fucking guinea pig. They can't close down the economy. They can't go in lockdown because, for number one, that would mean that they failed. That would mean that telling people to get all these vaccinations and doing all this, and then to say, okay, now we're back in lockdown, like that would, like, it would be like shameful. Like, it would be their pride. Like, they lost, they ruined, they can't, so they have to keep pushing the vaccinations. And now it's not that get the vaccinations to prevent COVID, now it's just get the vaccinations so that you don't die. Yes, okay, I agree with that. That's a good plan. I get it, you know, I think that probably does work, you know, that you're less likely to die, less likely to be in the hospital with the vaccinations. But stop blaming the fucking unvaccinated. Stop saying it's a problem of the unvaccinated, because these vaccinated people that are getting the breakthrough, lupus mouth, dry mouth, can't speak, breakthrough cases are affecting the unvaccinated. Okay, a little personal here, because my grandbaby, who is only just turned 5 months, and his father and my daughter, the mother, are not vaccinated. They do not want to be vaccinated. That is their religious belief. That is their body, their way, their choice. However, the whole family, their whole family, his whole family, the father's family, is vaccinated, okay? You think you're safe. You're vaccinated. It was the father of the baby's birthday party. My daughter was sick. She did not go. He did go for his birthday. He went to his mother, his father, his brother, his sister, who are all vaccinated. He took the baby, and they went and they celebrated his birthday. Nothing wrong with that. Okay, you feel you're safe. You're with your family. They're vaccinated. Someone came in who was also vaccinated, who was a close friend of the family, who had been with their father, who I guess had COVID, who was also vaccinated. Meanwhile, they came to the party, the person, and gave it to everybody else, along with the father of the baby, my daughter's fiance, and my grandbaby. Okay, so now these I'm not saying it's anybody's fault. I'm just saying that all these vaccinated people, your close knit of vaccinated crew. Remember when they used to do the find your social group, you know, way in the beginning of COVID, find the group that you can hang out with, you know, to be socially isolated with, and don't hang out with anybody else, but be in your social group, your isolated group, so that you're not spreading it and you're all safe and not have COVID and be safe with. Well, this was their group, okay? But they were vaccinated, okay? They had the 2 shots, possibly the boosters. I'm not quite sure on that, but and they gave it to an unvaccinated infant and his father. They came home 2 days later, revealed they had COVID. They gave it to my daughter, who was not vaccinated. So now all 3 of them have had COVID. Now the thing is, well, and then before we knew the baby had COVID, you know, because there was a lag of like 2 or 3 days after they were exposed, my ex-husband, the grandpa of the baby, watched the baby And, well, my daughter, I guess, went to work. Yeah, he must have gone to work because, or they were visiting, I don't know. But he was exposed to the baby. He was vaccinated. He's an elderly, well, he's older than me. He's 12 years older than me. So he's older, and he's, I guess, in good health. But anyway, he got COVID too. So anyway, everybody was locked down with COVID. Now the interesting thing is that upon the 10 days or whatever, you know, they retested for COVID, and my daughter, who was not vaccinated, she tested negative. The grandfather, who was vaccinated at the 10 days, he tested negative for COVID. Now, mind you, those were second-hand, once removed, you know, diagnosis of catching the COVID, if that makes sense. They didn't go to the party, so they didn't have, you know, personal contact with the person that gave everybody COVID. They were second-hand, like second-hand smokers. Gave them lung cancer. They received the second-hand COVID. So they both tested negative on their retesting for COVID. However, the baby and the fiance, the baby's father, who had gone to the party and had one-on-one contact with the person who had COVID, they're still testing positive for COVID. So that seemed to be an interesting thing to me. Now, does that mean that they still have COVID? Are they still contagious? Or is it just in their system longer than, say, my daughter and her father, the grandfather of the baby, who were not in one-to-one contact with the person who had COVID, who spread it to everybody else? Mind you, all these people were vaccinated except for my daughter, the baby's father, and the baby. Did you follow me there? Okay. The reason I'm saying all that is because, number one, if I were vaccinated, I'd be fucking pissed. Because, you know, I'd be pissed. I'd be pissed that they're still pushing the vaccinations. I do believe that it would probably keep you from dying, probably keep you out of the hospital. I do believe that. But get a fucking vaccination that works. You know what I mean? Like the doctor I overheard on the TV. We need to come up with a new plan, because we can't just keep fucking getting boosters, and revaccinating people. Because obviously these breakthrough cases are happening. So stop blaming the fucking unvaccinated, because now vaccinated are getting the unvaccinated sick, and they're having their own breakthrough cases. So now it's just everybody, okay? Everybody is getting sick, especially with this Omicron. And then I did hear on one of the shows that I was watching, a doctor was on there, and he was saying that people are actually going out on purpose to try to get the COVID so that they have antibodies to it. And that was my first thing that I did say to my daughter and her fiance, and well, to the baby. I didn't really say it to the baby, but I said, well, at least you guys have antibodies for a while. And I would actually rather have natural immunity to the COVID than immunity via a vaccination. Because another thing is the vaccination immunity wanes after 6 months, I guess they're finding, or a year, or however. I don't even know what that is, because they didn't know in the beginning when they vaccinated people. That, oh, we have to wait to see. We have to wait to see after 6 months. We have to wait to see after a year. Do the people get sick again? Then we'll know how long the vaccination lasts. Well, no, I didn't want to play that fucking whack-a-mole game. I didn't want to be a fucking experiment. I need to know. And now they have come out with the pill, which, thank God, and I even told my doctor, I said, I'm waiting for the pill to come out. Well, he knew nothing about the pill, but I guess he don't watch the news, because that's what the nurse said. He don't watch the news. So I guess the pill will kind of be like a Tamiflu pill, but you have to take it right away on your, right when you get symptoms and stuff like that. So I'm okay with taking a pill, okay? I will take a pill, like a Tamiflu pill, if I get symptoms of COVID. Knock on wood, I never have. Now, also with being unvaccinated, and I have said this in other videos, with it, I carry the burden and the responsibility of me being unvaccinated to A, not get myself sick with COVID, in order to be responsible not to give it to anybody else. Okay? Being responsible means that I don't go places. I haven't been to a restaurant in how long, and yes, I miss it. I haven't been to the mall and out how long, and yes, I miss it. I haven't been out on a fucking date, and yes, I miss it. I haven't met anybody that I don't know, and yes, that's so fucking boring. I haven't been with anybody but my daughter, my grandbaby, and my daughter's fiance. I have gone to my grandbaby's baptism, church on Christmas, what else? Her gender reveal and her baby shower. And in all those situations, I wore a fucking mask the whole fucking time unless I was eating. Yes, maybe, okay, I look silly, but I didn't care. I have health issues that I cannot get sick. Okay, I will probably not do good if I did get COVID. So, being unvaccinated, I need to carry the burden and the responsibility not to get anyone else sick and not to get myself sick. So it is a burden that I choose to carry. Okay? It is not easy, but this is what I do as a responsible citizen. Okay? But don't go playing, be a responsible citizen to your country and go get vaccinated. No. My body, my choice, my religious choice, and I will be responsible for myself. To protect myself and protect others. Okay, it's a responsibility burden that I choose to bear. Okay, so with that being said, also, when COVID first happened, they were like, wear a mask to protect others. Okay, I'm like, no, wear a mask to protect others and to protect your fucking self. Cooper? I do not understand how the CDC, how the COVID team, Trump's COVID team, how they did not get that the mask is going to protect you, yourself, me, myself, and I also. I don't know if they just didn't want to put it that way. I don't know if they wanted to be patriotic, protect your fellow man. But I knew from the beginning. Okay, could have been intuition, who knows. But that mask protected me and others. Okay, months into the COVID, the mask also protects you. Duh. Okay, from day one COVID, I wore an N95 or KN95. I ordered the KN95s off Wish.com. Cheap. A pack of 20, whatever. I ordered the best masks, okay? Everybody else is wearing the fashionable cloth masks, said words, like, shut me up, or whatever, they would say. Forget ego. I wore a mask that would for sure protect me, okay? What is it? Almost 2 fucking years later? We recommend the KN95 or an N95. You're fucking 2 years a little too fucking late. You probably should have been saying this 849 fucking thousand deaths ago. Okay? I'm sorry, but it just makes me mad that what I have been doing since day one, protecting myself, protecting others from me, if I were to get it, that I don't get anyone else sick, wearing the KN95 or an N95 mask from day fucking one, and knock on wood, I have not gotten COVID. I don't think I've ever given it to anyone. I've never been around anyone other than my daughter and the baby and fiance and the grandpa, and they have never had COVID up until this point, which was about 14 days ago. And of course it's the Omicron, which is highly, highly contagious. Now I even wear a surgical mask under my N95 just to be fucking even more crazier. When COVID first started, I also wore one. Well, in the beginning, I wore two of the surgical gloves because I didn't want to touch anything. Now that could be a little overboard, but I do definitely wear one glove because when I touch the grocery cart, when I touch fruit, when I touch things on the shelf and I put them back, when I go to the gas station, when I touch the gas pump, when I go to the bank and receive the thing to put my money in or get my money out, I've worn a glove. And instead of wearing two, because just to be cheap, I just wear one in the hand that I use to touch anything that the public might have touched. I wear. Okay? I wonder if they'll come up with that next. But anyway, I just wanted to vent because people should have been wearing the N95 to start with. Vaccines, okay, yes. You know, I'm not anti-vaccine for people if they want to get it. I don't hate you. Fine, do that. For me, it's not what I choose, from my body, from my religious belief, from my intuition, from my inner knowing. I wasn't secure enough in how this was going to go. Again, I sacrificed a lot to sit back and watch. Not happy with what I've seen, but hopefully we are at the end now. So let's ask the cards. Now that we've gone through all this, oh, and also, I don't think we're going to have another lockdown, because we just can't, because then that would mean defeat for the government. But I do believe the one doctor that said we can't just keep reboosting, fifth booster, revamping the vaccinations for the next new virus. We need to come up with a new normal. Really, a new normal. Okay? So, maybe so many people getting the Omicron will build up this broad, what did they want? What was it called where they wanted everybody to have immunity? Like the whole group, everybody. Maybe this will do it. Maybe this will tip it over the scale. So let's see what the cards have to say now, going forward with COVID in our life. And the poor nurses, more police have died. Well, I don't know if it was just Chicago, but I saw a stat on TV, and it might have been just Chicago, I'm not sure, but more police. Sorry, my mouth is really dry from my lupus and Sjögren's and fibromyalgia and all that shit. I can't speak very well today, but more police have died from COVID than anything else. They serve and protect, and they're dying from COVID because they're out there with the people. And, they don't say, hang on, offender, hang on, domestic assault victim. Does anyone in the home have COVID before I come in? They don't stop. They react and they protect. And then nurses are so burnt out again, especially from this new variant that came and, invaded the hospitals. Now the nurses are getting COVID again, getting, breakthrough cases. And let's just see. Okay, so we right off the bat, we have the Ace of Swords. The Ace of Swords is a truth, okay? This is God's truth, okay? We have to face the truth about this virus. We need clarity. We need a clearer path. Here, I'm looking at this thing and I don't know why it's calling to me as a compass. I really hope you can see. I'm seeing glares on the camera. But we need a truth. We need a new start. We need a new plan, is what I'm hearing. Okay. We have 21. the world. The world is a completion and ending. It was upside down. We have the unicorn, which is magic, faith, believe. We have the phoenix is rising from the ashes. We have the griffin. We have the, what is the other? We have the phoenix, the flying dragon. We have the world, but it's in reverse. We might have to clarify that. And then we have the 7 of Wands. 7 of what? Why does this card look like it's upside down to me? Oh, it's not, but it really looked upside down to me. 7 of Wands. We have the 8 of Cups. Let's look at this one first. We have the 8 of Cups, and she's looking at herself, okay, outside. I think this was in a Corona video before. So she's isolated. She's looking at herself. She was such a warrior. She was such a go-getter. But she's isolated. She can only look out at the outer world. She wants to go out and fight against this, but we're in such isolation. We feel stuck. We feel like we can't do anything. We want to fight. It's also calling, you know, this 8 of Cups is the person going down a different path to find a new journey, to find what's missing. But this kind of is like her spirit guide or someone who has crossed over is telling her, fight. Fight for this. Fight for this new start, this new beginning. So the 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands. 5, 6, and 7. And then, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. Yep, 13. I think I looked at that flower before. It has 13 petals. It's death. Let me see. In this card, I want to look at, in this book, I want to get some intuitive hits on the 7 of Wands. 7 of Wands. Negotiations. The 7 of Wands is when he's standing on the hill and everybody's throwing wands up at him. Okay, it's looking at things from a higher perspective is what I'm hearing. You know, not exactly what the picture in the Rider-Waite would show you. And there's a book here at the bottom, and he's looking at this flower. The flower to me has 13 petals, so it's representing everybody who has died from this virus. You know, we need to learn a lesson from this, and we need to look at things from a new perspective, from a higher perspective. We need to see a higher truth with this Ace of Swords. So Sorry, camera turned off for a second. Why is the world upside down? I mean, the ending of this is going to be delayed, which means my 853 number might not be right. I don't know. It's going to be delayed because the 10 of Swords, 10 of Spades. We're still going to have heartbreak. We're still going to have defeat. The Jack of Diamonds is the Knight of Pentacles. We're going to have defeat. It's going to be slow. The ending of this is going to be slow. So if there is, let's say if there's just 4,000 more deaths, the ending to the coronavirus was going to linger a little longer. But hopefully just 4,000 more. Not that we want 4,000 more, but I'm just saying. And then we have the 8 of Clubs. The 8 of Clubs is the wounded warrior. The guy standing with the club, and he's got the patch on his forehead, and the clubs are all behind him, all the lessons he's learned. This wasn't the deck that I thought it was. Yeah, that's not the deck I thought it was. Where is that deck that I was looking for? Well, I don't want to keep you. But, well, maybe I could use... Is this the deck? Yeah, this is the deck. Okay. I'm going to pull some more. So, I was hoping that we could wrap up this coronavirus shit, this game of whack-a-mole, by like, you know, April or something, by the time it gets warmer, by the time spring comes, where we could start anew. But it looks like it's going to linger. It's going to linger. So, let's see if Spirit can give us any more information on this coronavirus. Okay. That is a lot. Okay. I don't know what this card means. What this, word means. I'm not going to go get the book because I'm not going to keep you. But 33 is a master number. But it does look like a government person. Do you see the ink pen behind him? There may be, maybe even regarding the mandates, this higher authority, maybe it's the president, I don't know, maybe it's just part of Congress, is thinking of new rules, new laws to pass about this. Because people are sick. Now there is a card in here, I think, that shows someone being more sick, but this is a person in bed. People are sick. People are depressed. So this person needs to help. They need to help the people. People in authority need to help the people. And the picture behind her is a man, a woman, and a baby. The government needs to help families. Oh my God, and this person is still sick again. It's like, oh, this must be a doctor, doctor, or whatever that means. And 44 is a master number. Maybe, and it's coming to feel her pulse. You see, it's the same person. And he's a hat. And it's a 44 is another master number. So I think the divine God, whoever you call on as your higher person, is calling on us to pray. And here's an angel. The fortune, the wheel of fortune, to me, she just called out as an angel. It's number 5. Five is about conflict, okay? But abundance, it's going to pour if we just pray, if we just take another direction. This is like the wheel of fortune in the tarot. If we just take another direction, okay? If people could just admit their wrongs in authority, in life, in your family, in whatever, anywhere else, if people could just have compassion, if people can let go of their ego and admit their wrongs and just see another way, just see another way, then abundance pouring out of the cornucopia of that, whatever they call this. Isn't that the cornucopia? I don't know. Abundance will fall upon us if we just seek another way. La amante. Is this love? Does that mean love? I don't know what it means. This is an Italian deck. Like the La amante. Is that love? He's singing a love song. If we just use more love. Okay? I'm saying it's love. I'm sticking to it, and that's my story. If we just have more love in the world, okay? Then we could be joyous. We can go back to the bars and have some beers. Okay, that's what they're doing. They're having... Oh, look it. Gotta look up that word. This is 9. 9 is about wish fulfillment. Vino, yeah. The vino. Let's have some wine. Let's celebrate. Let's celebrate. And have some pizza. With that shirt he has on. And look at here. 11 and 12. We have la amante and la amante. The same thing. But men and women coming together in love. Let's see what that means. La amante. Meaning a person, a person who is having a love affair with another. Does la amante mean love? It means flirtation, admiration, courtship. Okay, yeah. Oh, yeah. Let's get this over with so we can all get back out and start going dating again. Yeah, that's what it means. We can get better with Dr. Torah. Coming, getting everybody out of the house, getting rid of this COVID. Yeah, that's me. That's my Dexcom. Yep. Okay. All right. So that means I need to go get some sugar in me. I need to get some sugar. So that's what I have for you. So it is going to turn around. The world's delayed. It's going to be slow with the Knight of Pentacles and the Ten of Swords. We're still going to be down and out, you know, with the swords in our back, laying flat on the ground. But if you look at that guy in the wider weight, he's going like this. It's going to be okay. It'll be okay. We're almost to the end, people. I think we are. Let's hope. Take care. God bless. Be safe. Use your N95, KN95. All right. See you soon. Bye-bye.